Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Reclaiming Your Life. I am your host, Kimara.
This podcast is designed to help women overcome their insecurities, self-doubt, and fears within themselves to pursue their dreams by telling her own life experiences. Here's your host, Kimara.
Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Reclaiming Your Life. Thank you for joining me on this Friday. To all my new listeners, I am your host, Kimara, and thank you for joining me. And to all my listeners from day one or not even day one, thank you for joining me each and every Friday to tune in for another great episode. I am so excited for the things that I have going on right now for Reclaiming Your Life. I am hosting my very first Mother's Day Mommy Makeover. And this is for all the single moms or single mothers who feels they have been doing everything or is doing everything on their own, whether you're working, going to school, taking care of your kids, whether you're dropping them off, picking them up, bringing them to after school activities, and doing everything else in between. This is for you. So if you feel this is you and you want to nominate yourself, or if you feel you know someone who is a single mom and you would like to nominate them, you can. And with this mommy makeover, it is entailed with getting your nails done, your hair done, getting an outfit, getting a facial, and getting your face beat. You're going to be slayed for Mother's Day, honey. Trust me, you will. So if this is you or you know someone and would like to nominate them, please nominate them. I will be releasing all the details early next week, probably Monday, Tuesday of next week with the requirements for this mommy makeover. So I am excited, and I'm also grateful and thankful for my sponsors who are working with me to make this vision a reality, this dream a reality, because I'm a single mom. And I know sometimes we tend to forget about self-care. We do. We put everybody else's needs before we do ours. So this is something that I wish somebody was able to do for me. And I want to be able to do this for the next single mom or mother that is out there. So today's episode is going to be something different because I have something else to talk about. But this is going to be very interesting as well. So with that being said, today's episode is, or titled, Don't Let Being Broken Define You. And this came up to me yesterday as I was thinking about something, and I had sent a text to my cousin, and then it just resonated with me for the rest of the night. And I recorded it yesterday, but then today, as I'm doing my little routine and things, and I was watching a show, Grey's Anatomy actually, and towards the end of the episode, she has said that her husband is going to be looking at her as this broken person. And the doctor said to her, don't let that define you. And right there, you know how we say confirmation. So for me, I already knew that it was confirmation that this is the title of this episode and that I needed to talk about this. But then I realized I needed to get deeper into this. So I decided to re-record and to get deeper into don't let being broken define you. I don't know who this is for, but whoever it's for, I hope that this is going to encourage you, it's going to help you, and it's going to inspire you. So the definition of broken when it comes to or related to a person is having given up all hope. And then there's the words that's affiliated with broken. I have defeated, beaten, overpowered, overwhelmed, and discouraged. And beaten can be whether you've been abused, and overpowered I relate it to as being raped or sexually assaulted in any way. And I'm saying this to tell you today, no matter of your situation or your circumstances, do not let that define who you are, because it's not. It's an unfortunate event that happened to you, but it doesn't define who you are. So you may have been raped, you may have been sexually assaulted, you may have been abused, and you may even feel broken or think someone is looking at you to say you are broken. But don't let that define you, because you are not broken. You are a survivor. You are a survivor of an unfortunate event and trauma that happened to you. And I know that it's hard, because these are things that we don't talk about. We don't talk about being abused. We don't talk about being raped. We don't talk about being sexually assaulted, because we are afraid of what people may say and look at us. They may look at us in pity and feel sorry for us, and they will make us feel uncomfortable. We may say that we've been sexually assaulted or raped, and we may be questioned as to, no, you wasn't. I don't believe you. Then it makes you feel less of a person and feel more broken, because this individual don't believe you, whoever it is that you may have told. Some of us been sexually assaulted when we were kids or younger in our lives, maybe even as a young adolescent or an adult, raped same way. And we are afraid to talk about these issues because we are worried what people will think and how they may look at us. But you know what? We need to talk about this, because the person who did this to you, to us, we need to let someone know so that they can be stopped and it won't happen to the next person. No matter how hard it may be, and sometimes we're in that state of mind where we're just having that fear of nobody won't believe us or believe you. But it's something that needs to be done. It needs to be stopped, so that these people, whoever they are, is doing it, whether it's a man or a woman, because it can be a woman who can sexually assault someone or rape someone. So it's not just men who are doing this to women, it's women who is doing this to men. And we tend to not talk about it as much because we don't hear about it as much, but it's still happening. So men are victims just as much as women, but it needs to be talked about. It needs to be talked about, and we need to step up and say something to someone. So don't just look at it as you're broken. Look at it as that you are a survivor. And the meaning of survivor is a person who copes well with difficulties in their life. So you may never forget the abuse, the rape, the sexual assault. You may even remember every detail, down to the smell of that person, what they were wearing, the day that it happened, whether it was cold, it was snowing, it was raining, whether it was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. But remember, you are a survivor. You overcame this trauma. But don't let it stop you from living your life you always dreamed. I know you can't get over it as fast, and I'm not asking you to do that. What I'm asking you is to, when you are healed from it, don't let it consume you, but live your life. And don't beat yourself up thinking it was your fault, because it was not your fault. You did not do this. You did not deserve it. So don't think you may have been flirtatious when you probably wasn't. Don't think because you may have wore too short of a dress. Don't think it's because the way that you walked, you were drawing attention or looking for attention. Don't think because you were being nice to this person that you deserved what happened to you, because you didn't. And it was not your fault. Unfortunately, there are some sick people out in this world. But don't let it define who you are, and don't let that unfortunate event take over your life. And yes, it will be hard. Every day will be hard. And even there may be days where you even beat yourself up. And you keep replaying it in your head as to what you could have done differently to prevent this from happening. But let me tell you something. When you open your mouth and you tell your story, there will be someone there that will be able to listen to you. And don't be afraid to ask for help. No one is going to judge you. There are people here who will help you and will want to help you. So don't be afraid to ask for help. If you have to see a counselor, a therapist, whoever you may need to see to talk about this to help you get over, then that's what you need to do. And it's actually recommended you do. Sometimes we'll go to therapy and we're really not talking about all the problems and all the issues that we have, because again, we're still afraid. But when you have someone to talk to about it, and to talk you through it and walk you through it, as far as the healing process, you will see it will get better. But as I said, you may not forget it. But don't let being broken define who you are. I didn't have a long speech about this message, but I just wanted to let you guys know, whoever you are, whatever it is that you're going through, don't be afraid. And to all the survivors out there, I am so proud of you that you were able to move forward in your life, to live your life, because one day you will find someone who is going to love you and cherish you and treat you the way that you be treated, and is going to also protect you. To the ones who are still in the healing process, I pray that you will get your healing and be able to move forward and live your life one day. To the ones who are still in an abusive relationship, I pray that you will get the courage to leave your abuser. And don't be afraid to ask for help. No one is judging you, and no one should judge you, because they're not in that predicament as to why you're still staying. But I pray that you would get the courage, you would reach out for the help. And when you had enough, because you'll know when you have enough, because there's going to be a point where you're going to say, this is enough. I had enough. I read somewhere that it takes 7 times for someone to leave their abuser. So if it takes you 7 times before you realize, before that light bulb clicked in your head and said, you know what, it's time for me to go, that is okay. But as long as you made that decision to say you're leaving and you're never looking back. But again, I pray that you will be able to have the courage to move on and never look back. But just know that there is somebody out there to help you. There is domestic violence shelters that can help you, and they will help you to get back on your feet, whether you're looking for a job, whether you need assistance as far as food, cash, insurance. They will help you to get all the things that you need. So don't be afraid to ask for the help or to seek the help. They have things in your doctor's office and things like that where in the bathroom you can, because I've seen them where they may have the pamphlets in the waiting room, or they may have the number that you can take to call on your own time. So there's ways that people are telling you, here is the help where you can take it when it's needed or reach out. So don't be afraid, but don't let your situation, your circumstances define you being broken, because you're not. Because you are a survivor and you will be able to make it through. But thank you guys for listening. I hope this was able to help someone and to inspire someone and to encourage someone that you are a survivor. And don't you ever forget that. But thank you for joining me today on Friday. And I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend. Until next time, I will talk to you next week. You have a wonderful weekend. Bye.
Thanks for listening, and don't forget to subscribe and leave a review.